guys, KeyMagic13 here, and welcome back to some more of the Stanley Parable. First off, I must apologize for the poor audio quality last episode, but for some reason, it recorded from my internal computer microphone instead of my blue snowball, so sorry about that, but now we're back to normal. Anyway, let's get into it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps. Okay, so I think I'm gonna listen to him this time.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Turn left. Go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's do this. I'm actually doing this to get an achievement right now. An achievement called 888.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
I'll press 5 as soon as he finishes talking.
2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. So anyway.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Oh, did I?
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Really? Because it says escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah, I'll believe that.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah, death. That's right. Whee! Loading. 4 frames per second, 7 frames per second, 4, 10, 11, 15, and back to normal. Wait, what?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
That guy wasn't
Stanley
kidding.
can't see the bigger picture.
Help!
He doesn't know the
Help!
world story, trapped
Let me
in
understand.
his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Scar. Oh, we're gonna die. What?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Who are you?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
That's violent. Whoa! The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every
Ugh.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the
Stanley's
moment he
computer.
hit start?
Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the 2 doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development. Throughout, the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Oh my god, no freaking way. Corridor. The pacing of this opening scene was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. The 2 doors. The set of 2 opened. This is amazing! Oh my god, it's like a museum! Oh! Button sounds. A selection of sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Maintenance room. This is freaking awesome. This is amazing. It's like every single thing that's ever been. Like super Inception. I mean, hello. Inception to the max. Well, anyway. Wee. This is too good to be true. I'm leaving.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
I see it now.
No,
It's always
perhaps
been
not.
inside of me.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
And this possibility.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
What?
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Are you kidding?
Whatever you do, choose it.
Are you
Don't
really?
let time choose for you. Don't let...
What do I do? What do I do? Oh, okay, what do I do? Options. There we go. What do I do? What am I gonna do? How do I get out of this one? I don't want to quit the game because then I'll have to like skip the loading screen and whatever. Let's try. Let's begin the game again. I want a different ending than this one because this one's not a fun ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Actually, I'm not gonna go to the meeting room, and I'm gonna go this way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah, I
Perhaps he
knew.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It is kind of weird I can't see my feet, although that's the way it is in Portal
Yes,
2.
truly a room worth admiring.
Blender.
It had really been worth the detour after all. Just but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, I kind of want to get up there, because I've been that way.
Look,
I've been...
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
Ah!
off on the wrong foot. But in his eagerness to prove... But Stanley...
Are you kidding me? Ah! Paper all over the place.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know I'm not going to the meeting room. You know I'm going to the right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
That's always the excuse.
Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So like I said, I want to get up there because I've been that way twice
Stanley,
now.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I am curious what would happen if I went to the red door, but I'm going to save that for next
your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Why
to put
dark?
your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh. Hi.
That's her, Stanley.
What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
I can't move.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, that's
I'm just pulling
awesome.
the bread out of the
My
oven.
apartment room's 427.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
What?
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Good morning, employee. Press V on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow.
No way.
He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Please press Z.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Please press T.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Flag,
From behind
flag!
his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Please press Y to watch TV. Okay.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Please press 6 to spend time. What?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Please press B. Okay.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Please press 5 to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Please press 8.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Please press F to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I'm not gonna press it. I can't progress the game. Screw it! The episode's almost at 15 minutes.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
See what I see.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please
and
die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I
What? Okay. So, I guess that was the apartment ending. Thank you guys, and that's actually going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and a comment on the video if you enjoyed. And if you really enjoyed, be sure to click that subscribe button because you lose me on a ton. And until next time, this has been Game Magic 13, signing off, saying, hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for some more of the Stanley Parable. Goodbye!